called G Squeeze was walking past the Sainsbury's in Camden when a 4x4 crashed into him and several 71st members jumped out on him like a pack of wolves, stabbing him repeatedly in his head and body, leaving him literally and not being able to walk. But that wasn't enough for 71st members, which represents 71st, executed a triple shooting on 3 51st members. 2 of the members ran to a nearby hospital, but while hospital staff was treating the 2 members, they also called police to the hospital to investigate the situation. Once the 2 realized the police was called, they didn't even care about their treatment anymore, and attempted to run out the hospital while still having bullet wounds lodged in. But a few uninvited guests tried to pull up to the party from 51st called Dotty and his friend, who pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble for Dotty and his friend, and ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. When police caught him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether.
These exotic boys, smoke exotic ops. You ain't heard about murder boys, we got exotic glocks. Tied to pull up real fast, with a lot of shots. Bitch, I'm feeling just like Mac, I got a lot of guap.
Bloody hell! Did I do it? Was that a good accent? Was that a good accent? I don't even know what else to say, but we finna get into this video though. They you know, it'll be busting in the UK. I didn't even know UK was busting like this on phone. So we finna watch this video that y'all requested me to watch about these crazy ass London niggas, and let's get it, short.
2 men have been stabbed to death in 2 separate attacks in
Town
in North London last night.
So Camden is a borough in northwest London and is very, very close to the centre of London. But despite the area being so close to the rich centre of the capital, in the last few years, the war in the area has been going brazy. So historically, unlike neighbouring areas like Islington and Brent, Camden's beef situation hasn't been as active as others. But this all changed in 2016.
Wait. What is the worst hoods in London? Y'all tell me that. What's the worst hoods in London or in England, period? Bro, I don't know. I ain't never been over there.
Camden called Merce had his watch stolen from another man from another area in Camden. After this, there was some back and forth, which resulted in a big rivalry in the borough, literally between groups of kids that grew up together. One side being gangs built up from a few estates in Camden, which were the Peckwater gang from the Peckwater estate, the QC gang, which were from a road in Camden called Queen's Crescent, and Cumber, which is a gang made up from an estate called Regent's Park in Cumberland Market. They linked up together and called themselves 51st, due to their postcodes being in NW1 and NW5, which is where the 5 and the 1 come from. And from the other side of the feud, we have a gang called Active Gang, where some people may know from their songs, and they're from the Agar Grove estate in
I heard about them.
Active Gang are affiliated with another gang called CT1 and NRB, which they all linked up and called themselves 71st. And just like that, the war was now on between 51st and 71st over this watch being stolen. So Camden was actually
it's all over a watch being stolen. That's what started the war?
Somalian community, with a big portion of them residing in Agar Grove, which is the territory of the 71st gang. Such a big community that the majority of 71st members are actually Somalian. And if you watch one of my previous videos on Mali Strip, Somalian people are people you don't want to be messing with. You'll understand more in this video. And this beef was on
I heard about them.
In 2017, 2 members of the AG gang, which represents 71st, executed a triple shooting on 3 51st members. 2 of the members ran to a nearby hospital, but while hospital staff was treating the 2 members, they also called police to the hospital to investigate the situation. Once the 2 realized the police was called, they didn't even care about their treatment anymore, and attempted to run out the hospital while still having bullet wounds lodged in them. But the police ended up detaining them and arresting them after a struggle between the both. The reason they wanted to run was because all 3 members are actually wanted for suspicion of grievous bodily harm, which all 3 were eventually arrested for. Now, of course, 51st weren't happy about this triple shooting, and they were trying to get it back in blood. So
they got shot, ran to the hospital. The hospital called the police after they was treating them a little bit. The hospital called the police. They ran up out of there when they seen the police. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's one of the times where you just gonna have to arrest me. You just gonna have to come lock my dumb ass up, man. Cause one thing I'm not finna do is leave this hospital with a bullet in me. Crazy, man. What's wrong with y'all?
And shot a rival in the face with a shotgun.
With a shotgun?
Managed to survive and make his own way back to hospital.
He survived?
This beef really kicked off in a situation that wasn't even linked to both of the gangs. So on February 2017, a 16-year-old girl had an Airbnb party in Kensington, West London. You know those type of parties where a girl invites 7 different types of gangs and asks people to leave their beef at home? Yeah, one of those.
Stupid.
There were people from all over London there, but a few uninvited guests tried to pull up to the party. One of these people being a boy from 51st called Dotty and his friend, who pulled up to the party with a gun and knife looking for trouble. But the night turned left for Dotty and his friend, and ended up with Dotty being chased down by 20 young boys. When police caught him, they stabbed him 13 times altogether, which resulted in Dotty dying, which 4 16-year-old boys from Hackney and Tottenham were sentenced and convicted.
Bro, no. They say he came to the party with a gun and a knife, looking for their ops. Ops caught his, but they outnumbered them. 20 of them chased him down, stabbed him 13 times, and killed him. It's getting wicked in London on the dead guys, boy. See, I ain't gonna lie to you right now. I'm gonna keep it $150 with you on phone them. I would much rather, God, if you're listening, I'm not trying to speak this on my life. You feel me? Knock on wood. You feel me? I don't want to get shot, nor do I want to get stabbed. But if I just had to pick one way, I ain't gonna lie. Pop me, folks. Don't stab me, gang. I ain't gonna lie. That sound like it hurt 100 times worse. Then you just gotta sit there and bleed out with 13 stab wounds on you? No, sirree. Oh, bro, no. At least with no.
51st were mad about this situation, obviously, that their member Dottie was just stabbed to death. So they
Right.
were out trying to get revenge.
Right.
So they went out for revenge in a stolen BMW. And travelled all the way from Camden, northwest London, to Hackney in East London, and then to Tottenham in North London, because that's where the people who killed Dottie were from. But they ended up finding no one
anybody
both
from
areas.
London, how far is that? Is that like an hour drive? Is that a 30-minute drive? How far that is?
But they weren't trying to go home without spilling some blood first. So 51st went all the way back to Camden to look for 71st members.
Right.
And found an affiliate member of 71st called AK and killed him. But they
Uh-oh.
weren't done there. They were riding for a whole nother 2 hours looking for more 71st members. And found the 71st member called Mitch's little brother. Mitch's little brother attempted to run into a cab and begged the driver to drive him to safety. But the driver refused to move. And he was dragged out of the cab and stabbed to death by 51st members.
Bro. Y'all tweaking in London. On it, guys. They just said they drove all the way to the other side of the city. Didn't see they ops. So they drove all the way back. Seen a nigga who was with they ops. Killed them. And rolled around for 2 more hours looking for another op. Caught him and killed him too. And y'all just doing drive-by stabbings? Bro, what is going on, gang? Where's the crumpets at?
Within 2 hours
Y'all
of their
tweaking,
first murder
gang.
they committed that night. And 6 members were sentenced to life for these murders. Then on
they got
September
life?
4th, 2017, a member from 51st called Phillips and the older brother of the second boy who died that night called Mitch bumped into each other on Hampstead Road in Camden and started getting into a little altercation, which ended with Phillips stabbing Mitch in his arm, neck and back. Even the knife lodged into Mitch's bones and murdering him. An undercover policeman just happened to witness this whole situation and ran down Phillips and arrested him. And now Phillips is serving 17 years to life for this murder. After this, the beef in Camden went under some serious investigation by police.
Pause. Listen, I have a mentorship called the Mula membership where I'm going to teach you how to get rich with business, YouTube, crypto, stocks, financial literacy, credit, every single way. Now, I became a millionaire by the time I was 23 years old. I'm going to teach you step by step for only $50. Click the first link in the description right now and get added to my group chat where I'm going to give you one-on-one help to make sure you get rich in 2024. Click it right now. Stop tweaking because we got very limited spots and I don't want you to miss this bag.
And members from all sides started to get taken down for conspiracies, firearms and drug charges. And the beef started to die down a bit. But then 2019 hit and quite a lot of the members that were locked up started to come out. And taking in consideration that 51st members just before everyone started going to prison and killed 3 71st members. 71st members started coming out of prison on some demon time and were most definitely looking for revenge with no warnings. The first signs that 71st was really back was on a cold Tuesday in February. 1 AM in the morning, a 51st member called G Squeeze was walking past the Sainsbury's in Camden when a 4x4 crashed into him and several 71st members jumped out on him like a pack of wolves, stabbing him repeatedly in his head and body, leaving him literally paralyzed and not being able to walk. But that wasn't enough for 71st members. They wanted someone dead for their friends. So on April 1st,
I don't care what nobody say, bro. And niggas can talk all that shit about London. These stories is way more savage than anything we got going on in America on the guys. Not anything, but most of the shit. Because most niggas in America, they playing gangster. They shoot niggas from down the block. They spraying up crowds. They doing this, they doing that. These niggas is running up, running down on they ops, and sticking them in the head, in the neck, in the throat. Do you know how much of a animal savage you gotta be to do some shit like that, man? And then ride around for 2 hours looking for another nigga? That means you got blood all on your clothes, all on your gloves. You got shit all, brain splatter all in your face, all type of shit. And then you ride around for 2 more hours looking for another nigga and do the same thing to him. Again, this ain't no drive-by. This ain't no run up, blick from 2 blocks away, half a block across the street. This ain't none of that. How most niggas in the hood in America die. These niggas is getting slaughtered. Like a goddamn. I'm not even trying to be funny, nigga. They getting slaughtered like a cow and a butcher. On God, this is like, bro.
Suspected member of 51st
up.
C. Miz and his cousin were walking down Grafton Road in Gospel Oak, Camden, when 4 71st members jumped out a stolen black car and started chasing them. C. Miz and his cousin split up, but unfortunately the men who jumped out the car locked onto C. Miz, and C. Miz ended up dropping to the ground when the 71st members started to stab him repeatedly with machetes and then run from the scene. After this murder, 71st members made a song called Congo, and the reason why they called it Congo is because C. Miz was actually a refugee from Congo after him and his family fled the war from over there. Right. And members repeatedly in their songs say that they get their weed from Congo, not Cali. Pretty much just trying to say that they're smoking on C. Miz. Okay, as I said before, the majority of these 71st members are Somalian. So after all of this, there was news going about in Camden that 51st members were out on the lurk, and any Somalian they see, they're killing.
Heard some really strong intelligence that there is going to be revenge for Calvin's killing, and his friends have literally said they are going to go out and kill any Somali in retaliation. So I just want to make that really clear. This is a young Somali woman in Camden who's 24 years old, and basically we strongly suspect they're going to go out tonight and kill a Somali.
Which is probably a bit of a stretch. On the other hand, 71st members kept saying that they're warring with Jalirs, which is basically the Somalian word for West African people. Because you have to remember, despite Somalians being dark-skinned and African, a lot of Somalians don't really see themselves the same as other black people. So this was kind of turning into a race war between Somalian and black people in Camden, which is just all wrong for so many reasons. But 71st weren't happy enough with the killing of C. Miz. They wanted to spill more blood. So August 12, 2019, 6 members started circling the estates of 51st members in a stolen Ford Fiesta and a stolen Seat, when they spotted 16-year-old culprit and other members coming out of a restaurant around 10:30 p.m. Culprit and other members ran to a nearby set of blocks near Euston Road, but 71st members found them later on that night, and 3 members jumped out and chased them down, catching up to the 16-year-old 51st member called Culprit. Culprit was running for his life and literally screaming for help, banging on neighbours' doors to let him in so he could escape his attackers. Bro. But when the 71st members caught up to him, 2 71st members held him, while a 3rd member repeatedly pushed a 1-foot-long zombie killing knife through his chest.
God damn, nigga, what the fuck? Bro, what do y'all got? What's in the water? What do y'all got going on in London, bro? At least, nigga, that. Y'all see, niggas be saying all this savage shit, this and savage shit, that, nigga. At least in America, a nigga's gonna shoot you, bro. You know what that means? That means if he chasing you down with a gun, that means you got some kind of way to either get away or turn around, blink back while you running. You can't do nothing. Even if you got a knife on you, if it's 2 or more people chasing you down, you either gotta be Usain motherfucking Bolt, you gotta be a 6-mile athlete runner, or you gotta have God on your side, nigga, or a ninja and do some motherfucking throw some shurikens or something. Like, gang, that's the only way you gonna survive, bro. Imagine getting chased down and this niggas with knives on you. I done ran from bullets and I was scared of the motherfucker. I can only imagine 2 people chasing me down the block, refusing to stop running until I drop or get caught swinging a big long knife at me. Even if I turn around and I cut one of them, it's still another. I'm gonna get f***ed up before. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, gang, that's not right.
Was coming out of his back. And when the 71st members were done, the killers were said to be running away after, laughing hysterically, which is what bystanders said. And Culprit, he was just any normal kid from London. He was talented at football and even had trials for Southampton Football Club, but started getting involved in a local gang and brushed aside his football, and unfortunately became a victim of the streets. Now, as these back and forths normally go, 51st were now looking for revenge on their recent L's, and there were many stabbings across the month. And early on in September, there was a case of 3 killings in 5 days in Camden. One of these being a man from a completely different area all the way in East London, but unfortunately he was walking at the wrong place at the wrong time. So he was actually walking on Queen's Crescent Estate.
See, now, one thing about anything can say, nothing can say whatever they want to say, that's the hood. I know the hood, whether we in London, Paris, goddamn it, Germany, America, Chicago, New Orleans, whatever. I don't never have to be somewhere a day of my life. I can pull up, look, Give me like 5 minutes. Not even that long sometimes. Most times, but give me like 5 minutes max. I can tell you if we in the hood. This the hood, boy.
Hotspot for 51st members.
This is the hood.
And was shot and killed in a drive-by, being mistaken for a 51st member. Just an hour before, another woman was stabbed to death just a few hundred yards from the situation. And 4 days later, a 71st member called Nuts was stabbed to death by a gang of 51st members with machetes. Like one of the busiest areas in London, Camden Tube Station. And for the longest, a lot of people didn't even know all this stuff was going on until a 71st member called Suspect started jumping on the drill scene, calling himself the Camden Grim Reaper, and releasing some of the most disrespectful tunes towards his ops. So much that police take down pretty much any song that the gang uploads, which really started to bring some attention to what's happening down there, and definitely got the attention of me. Especially a song from Suspect called Dugout, which is probably one of the most disrespectful songs I've ever heard, and really makes you deep how tapped this whole beef is. In one of his lines, he says,
same place we used to play runouts, is the same place his chest got dug out. Same place I was telling you play out, is the same place I'm telling you come out.
I ain't gonna lie, and that shit be hard too. Like the music be hard too. I don't give a what nobody
these guys were close friends at one time, and now they're trying to kill each other. All stemming from a little small altercation that happened a couple years back. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video.
I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. I knew London was cracking. But somebody, like a few of y'all from London, and shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to my London squad members on the guys. A lot of y'all DM me, commented on my videos and told me to react to this. Bro, I wasn't expecting that shit right there, folks.